Beloved chosen one, listen closely. Heaven pauses when your faith speaks. The sound of your belief has reached beyond the veil of the visible. You have been seen in moments where no one clapped, yet your faith whispered louder than any shout could carry. That is why heaven laughed, not in mockery, but in victory, because God saw that you still believed when everything else told you to quit. You are not here by coincidence. Eternity planned this meeting. The Spirit of God hovered over your life, even in seasons when you thought He was silent. Every tear, every prayer said through trembling lips, every breath taken when fear tried to strangle you, none of it was wasted. The King of Glory was watching, smiling, waiting for this moment when your faith would rise again. You have been through fires that should have consumed you, yet you emerged shining with divine authority. There is laughter in heaven right now, because God saw that you refused to let despair define you. You were built for this. You were chosen for this hour when darkness covers the earth and hearts grow cold. Your endurance became the proof that light still wins. Heaven is not moved by perfection. It is stirred by persistence. The angels marvel at a faith that keeps standing when everything collapses. You have faced storms meant to drown you, but instead, they baptized you into purpose. And now the same winds that once roared against you will carry you toward your destiny. When God laughs, it shakes the foundations of hell. His laughter means triumph, assurance that no weapon, no whisper, no betrayal will prosper against you. You may feel small on earth, but your faith causes tremors in the unseen realm. Every "I still believe" became thunder in heaven's court. It is written in the book of Nehemiah, chapter 8, verse 10. The joy of the Lord is your strength. That joy is divine energy, a strength born from knowing your name is written in the heart of God. When the Father looks at you, He does not see failure. He sees His own victory. You are proof that faith still works and that obedience still rewrites destiny. Chosen one. You are standing at the threshold of a new era. The laughter of heaven means your weeping season has ended. Everything that broke you becomes the foundation for what God is building next. Lift your head. You are not forgotten. You are favored. Every time you chose faith over fear, heaven celebrated. This is the hour of divine laughter, the moment when God displays His victory through your endurance. Let this truth settle deep. God is not done with you. His joy strengthens you. His laughter surrounds you. His plan still unfolds in perfection. If this word stirred your spirit, share it so others may awaken. Like it if you feel heaven's confirmation. Subscribe so you never miss what God will reveal next. And as a prophetic act, comment the number 777 below, a declaration of divine completion and unshakable faith. Let heaven see your boldness. Chosen one, every act of faith is a trumpet blast that announces your readiness for the next divine assignment prepared for you. Your story is not over, it is being rewritten in glory. The same God who laughed in victory over your faith will now shine through you for the world to see. Chosen one, you were seen in the fire, when others turned away, when shadows whispered that you had been forgotten. Heaven's eyes never left you. The same flames that tried to consume you became the very light that revealed your strength. The refining fire did not destroy you, it unveiled you. Every spark that once burned now illuminates the truth of who you are: chosen, purified, destined. There were nights when you felt abandoned, when the silence of God echoed louder than your own heartbeat. Yet even then, heaven was writing your story in gold. You thought the delay was punishment, but it was preparation. You were being forged like a sword, tempered, tested, strengthened. Fire does not come to destroy what belongs to God, it comes to reveal its divine quality. When you cried in the darkness, angels were stationed around you. When you felt like giving up, the Spirit whispered courage into your weary soul. You were not walking through the fire alone. Heaven's gaze followed every step, and the flames bowed before divine command. What was meant to consume you became your consecration. Every chosen one walks through fire. Abraham faced the mountain. Moses faced the desert. Daniel faced the lions, and your test came as a storm. A loss, a breaking that nobody saw. But the fire that once terrified you became your witness. It testified that your faith is real. You didn't just survive, you were sanctified. You are no longer the same. There is a glow about you that cannot be hidden, a strength that confuses those who tried to count you out. They see the calm, but not the cost. They see the victory, but not the valley. They do not understand that pain became your pulpit and perseverance your crown. Even now, heaven whispers, I saw you in the fire, and I called you mine. God did not rescue you from the heat, He joined you in it. He stood beside you, unseen yet undeniable. And when the flames lost their power, He stepped forward, holding your hand, declaring that your season of hiding is over. It is spoken in the book of Isaiah, chapter 43, verse 2. When you walk through the fire, you shall not be burned. That is not a poetic promise, it is your testimony. The ashes beneath your feet are not the remains of your defeat. They are the evidence that you endured what others could not. You carry the fragrance of victory, the residue of divine protection. You may not realize it yet, but everything you lost in the fire was never meant for your next season. The world sees scars, but heaven sees signatures of purpose. Every mark left by the flames is a reminder that you were worth protecting. The same hands that parted the Red Sea covered you when the world's heat rose against you. The God who delivered the 3 Hebrews still delivers you now, not always by removing the fire, but by transforming you within it. Chosen one, your faith has graduated from theory to testimony. You have stepped out of the blaze holding something eternal, unshakable trust. You no longer fear what tried to destroy you, for you have seen its limits and God's limitless grace. The fire refined your focus, sharpened your discernment, and burned away every false connection. So walk forward, radiant one. The smoke no longer clings to you. The flames no longer define you. Heaven saw you in the fire and decided you were ready for the next chapter of destiny. You carry divine evidence now, proof that survival is not random, but sacred. The fire that once threatened to consume you has become the holy ground on which you now stand. Chosen one, your faith has done something the enemy never expected. It confused hell itself. While the world saw your struggle, heaven saw your strategy. You believed when everything around you was breaking, and that belief sent shockwaves through the spirit realm. Every time you stood firm, darkness trembled, because your endurance became an act of war against hopelessness. The enemy expected your silence. He expected you to stop praying, to lose the will to stand. But your faith refused to die. You stood in the ruins, speaking life where others saw only loss. You worshiped through pain, and in that worship, the atmosphere shifted. Faith like yours dismantles the plans of darkness without needing to shout. It declares with quiet authority, God still reigns. Your faith has never been a feeling, it has been a weapon. It has cut through despair, pierced the night, and commanded divine attention. Hell underestimated you because it measured your strength by your situation. But what the enemy didn't understand is that faith grows stronger under pressure. The more you were tested, the more unshakable you became. Chosen one. Do you realize what happens when you refuse to surrender? The hosts of heaven rise in formation. Angels align at the sound of your perseverance. When you say, I still believe, It is not a whisper, it is a decree that echoes through eternity. Faith like yours builds altars in unseen realms, and God responds with holy laughter. You may not have seen it, but there was a moment somewhere between your tears and your prayers when heaven turned the tide. The enemy who thought he had you lost his grip, because your faith created a divine reversal. That is why God laughed in victory. Not because the battle was easy, but because he saw that the enemy's weapons only made you stronger. As written in the first letter of John chapter 5, verse 4, "This is the victory that has overcome the world, our faith." Your faith is the real victory. It is heaven's proof that light cannot be extinguished. Every doubt you defeated became a stone in your crown. Every time you prayed when your voice was shaking, you built a fortress of strength within your spirit. And now, as you move forward, that same faith is about to open doors no human hand could ever touch. Do not look back at what broke you. Look forward to what your faith is building. The very places where you felt weakest will become the stages of your greatest testimony. You will speak from the scars, and others will be healed by your words. God will use your faith as a mirror so others can see what divine endurance looks like. Hell is terrified of a believer who no longer doubts their calling. You have crossed that threshold. You no longer beg for validation. You walk in revelation. The same faith that confused hell will now attract heaven's favor. You were never meant to just survive. You were meant to disrupt the darkness and awaken others to their divine identity. Now, as you let these words settle, do one small act of agreement with heaven. Comment "Faith wins." Type it as a declaration, not a reaction. Those two words are a spiritual statement that no matter the battle, faith always triumphs. As you release that phrase into the world, you align with heaven's laughter and remind the unseen realm that your belief is still undefeated. Chosen one, long before your eyes opened to the world, heaven had already whispered your name. The moment you drew your first breath, purpose hovered over you like light waiting for permission to shine. The battles you faced were not random, they were the evidence of a calling that existed before time began. You were not created for mediocrity or conformity. You were marked for divine impact. Before you ever reached for God, He had already reached for you. Long before you spoke His name, He had already written yours upon His heart. There were heavenly conversations about you before you ever faced a single storm on earth. The delays, the detours, the heartbreaks, they were all pieces of a map leading you to recognition of who you truly are. When you look back, you'll see how nothing was accidental. The seasons that felt wasted were divine training grounds. The people who left were necessary exits for your purification. Every disappointment stripped away distractions until only destiny remained. You were being sculpted by unseen hands into something that would carry eternal weight. Chosen one, you are not a reaction, you are a revelation. You are the manifestation of a divine idea God refused to abandon. Even when you doubted yourself, heaven never reconsidered your assignment. You were always meant to stand out, to disturb the darkness with the brilliance of your light. That's why rejection couldn't erase you. It was merely a redirection. You were chosen before your choices, called before your confidence, and loved before your loyalty. Heaven's plan didn't begin when you got it right. It began when grace found you in your lowest place. There are dimensions of purpose that only open after pain. You didn't stumble into destiny, you were guided, shaped, and protected by hands that never let go. You are heaven's answer to a problem on earth. Where others see coincidence, heaven sees calling. Every experience you've endured, every betrayal, every lonely night was a line in the script of your mission. You were prepared in obscurity because public crowns are forged in private battles. In the scrolls of eternity, There was a moment when the Creator looked upon the earth and said, "This one will carry my flame." Your spirit was commissioned before your flesh was formed. That is why certain rooms couldn't contain you, why certain paths couldn't hold you. Your design was never meant for comfort, it was meant for conquest. In the holy writings of the prophet Jeremiah, chapter 1, verse 5, the word declares, "Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you." Those words are not mere poetry, they are identity. God knew your mistakes and still chose you. He saw your hesitations and still anointed you. He looked at the weight of what you would face and said, "This one is strong enough to bear it." You were appointed not despite your wounds, but through them. The cracks became the channels through which His glory now flows. Chosen one, you carry divine fingerprints on your soul. Every time you speak truth, heaven recognizes its own echo. You have been hidden. Yes, but hidden things are not forgotten. They are protected until the appointed time. The unveiling of your purpose is not coming, it has begun. Step forward with confidence. Walk as one who knows they were designed on purpose, for purpose. Every cell in your being testifies that you are the fulfillment of divine intention. The moment heaven chose you was not the beginning of your story, it was the continuation of an eternal plan that cannot fail. Chosen one, the pressure you have felt was never meant to break you, it was forming something holy inside you. Every hardship, every moment of uncertainty was heaven's gentle hand shaping the weight of glory you now carry. The world calls it pain, but in heaven's language, it is preparation. You have been molded in secret for a crown that only those who endure can wear. You may not have realized it, but every tear that fell became the water that softened the soil of your destiny. You were not being buried, you were being planted, and like a seed hidden in the dark, you were surrounded by pressure so that you could one day rise with power. The waiting, the isolation, the stretching, all of it was the sound of heaven forming something eternal within you. Chosen one, when gold is refined, the fire does not destroy it, it removes what does not belong. That is what God has done with you. Every layer of fear, every fragment of doubt, every false comfort, it's been burned away, leaving behind purity and purpose. The weight you feel is not punishment, it is the gravity of glory settling upon your spirit. As written in the second letter to the Corinthians, chapter 4, verse 17. Our light affliction, which is but for a moment, works for us a far more exceeding and eternal weight of glory. This means the heaviness you've carried has not been in vain. Heaven has been preparing you for impact. You are being fashioned into a vessel that can hold revelation, compassion, and divine authority. You have walked through valleys so that when you speak, others will feel understood. You have been emptied so that your words could carry the fullness of truth. Think of it like this: when a sculptor begins with marble, every strike of the chisel seems destructive, but each cut reveals the masterpiece hidden within. That is what God has done through your trials. The same pain that tried to silence you has become the rhythm of your rebirth. Now, as your spirit glows with the reflection of heaven, let your light ripple outward. When you click like, it is as if you are lighting a candle in this cathedral of faith. When you share, you are passing that flame to another soul still lost in the dark. And when you subscribe, then you're saying, "Keep the lamps burning. I will walk with you through the night." And if your heart feels moved to go a little further, to pour oil back into the fire that keeps this sanctuary burning, then let it be an act of love. To donate here is not to pay. It is to plant. It is to drop a seed into soil that has already given you fruit. Every offering, small or great, becomes a river that keeps this message flowing toward hearts that need hope. Let it be natural. Let it be free. There is no demand in this invitation, only the whisper of gratitude. Giving is not about parting with something, it is about participating in something holy. Chosen one, you are the living proof that what begins in pain can end in glory. As your heart resonates with this word, tap the light, share the warmth, subscribe to stay within this circle of grace, or plant a seed of love if you feel led. Heaven counts every spark, every echo of generosity, every silent act of faith. The same God who formed you in the fire now calls you to shine as a torch in the storm. Let your endurance become inspiration. Let your victory fuel light for others. The masterpiece is ready and the world is waiting to see it. Chosen one, there was a night heaven remembers vividly, the night God smiled because you did not give up. When the world fell silent around you and your prayers seemed unanswered, you still whispered his name. You stood between fear and faith and chose to believe again. That was the moment all of heaven leaned closer. The Almighty smiled and said, "This one is mine." You may not have seen it, but the angels did. When your tears fell quietly, they became pearls in heaven's record. You didn't know it, but every sigh was a melody of worship, and every moment you refused to surrender was an anthem that reached the throne. That night, while the enemy rejoiced over your struggle, heaven wrote your victory in advance. It was not your strength that moved heaven, it was your surrender. You stopped fighting with fear and started trusting in promise. That shift, small and quiet, changed everything. God smiled, not because you were perfect, but because your heart still turned toward him even in confusion. True faith isn't loud, it's steadfast. It keeps burning when the winds rise and the night grows long. You've seen the kind of darkness that makes others question if dawn will ever come. Yet you kept walking. You've endured rejection that could have hardened you. Yet you chose mercy instead. You faced loneliness that could have destroyed your hope, but you turned it into prayer. Heaven noticed. The Father saw all of it. We are reminded in the book of Psalms, chapter 30, verse 5. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. Those words were not written as comfort alone, they were prophecy. Your night is almost over. The dawn is not coming from the horizon, it's rising from within you. The same faith that held you through the storm is now calling forth light. The joy that once seemed distant is preparing to fill your heart with peace that cannot be shaken. Chosen one, remember this: every dark season has an expiration date, but the light born within you is eternal. You have been through the breaking so that compassion could flow through your voice. You have been pressed so that the oil of purpose could pour out. The smile of God over your life is not just approval, it is a signal that your new chapter has begun. There is laughter in heaven because what once tried to bury you will soon testify about you. Every struggle is turning into a story of grace. The same ground that witnessed your pain will become the stage of your praise. The winds that once roared against you are now carrying your victory song across the heavens. And now, chosen one, if this word has touched something deep inside you, seal it with a sign of agreement. Comment the number 444 below. That number is more than digits. It is a symbol of divine alignment, the harmony between heaven's promise and your persistence. When you write it, you declare that you trust God's timing, that you recognize his smile even in the silence, and that you are ready to walk into the morning he has prepared for you. You have not been forgotten. You have been favored, and heaven's laughter still echoes over your faith tonight. When you comment 444, you're not just typing a number, you're declaring that heaven's order surrounds you, that divine timing is unfolding exactly as promised. Writing 444 is like opening a window in your spirit, letting the light of alignment pour in and confirm you are exactly where God needs you to be. Word count 614. Chosen one, you have learned one of heaven's deepest secrets. Sometimes silence is your greatest weapon. The world may interpret your stillness as defeat, but in the spirit, it is strategy. Every moment you chose not to react, not to defend, not to explain, you were disarming the enemy with divine wisdom. The loudest battles are often won in quiet rooms where faith whispers louder than fear. You see, silence in God's presence is not emptiness, it is alignment. When you stopped speaking and started listening, heaven began to speak back. The Lord doesn't always answer with thunder or miracles. Sometimes He answers with peace that confuses every storm. And that peace is what you began to carry, even when chaos surrounded you. Your silence was not weakness, it was warfare. There were words you could have said, but grace held your tongue. There were people you could have exposed, but wisdom told you to wait. You have walked away from fights that could have drained your spirit because you understood that not every mountain needs to be moved. Some are meant to be climbed quietly. There were seasons when you felt like your prayers were bouncing off the ceiling. Yet in that sacred hush, God was shaping you to hear His whispers. The world shouts, but heaven speaks in stillness. And it was in that stillness that you discovered who you truly are. Not a victim of circumstance, but a vessel of purpose. When you refused to react to the noise, something shifted. Heaven took your restraint and turned it into revelation. You began to see how silence protects the sacred. Not everything holy must be announced. Some of God's greatest works in you have been done in secret, hidden beneath the quiet obedience that few have noticed. But make no mistake, heaven noticed. The Lord Himself fought for you when you chose to stay still. Your silence became His invitation to step in. It's written in the book of Exodus, chapter 14, verse 14. The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still. Those words are more than comfort, they are command. They remind you that restraint is not surrender, it's trust. You have trusted God enough to let Him speak on your behalf, to let Him reveal truth in His time, and to let Him vindicate what was once misunderstood. You have discovered that peace is not the absence of conflict, but the presence of confidence. When the noise of the world demanded reaction, your quiet spirit became a fortress. You learned that you don't need to explain when you've already been chosen. The truth has its own voice, it simply waits for the right time to echo. Chosen one, this wisdom will carry you far. The ability to stay calm when others panic, to be still when others shout, is a sign of maturity heaven trusts. You have become unshakable because you have learned to pause, to breathe, to let God move before you move. Do not mistake silence for inactivity. It is in silence that roots grow, oil forms, and strength matures. The quiet season you endured was the sound of your foundation being fortified. The next time life demands a reaction, remember this moment, how heaven armed you with peace instead of panic. Your stillness has become your strength. Your silence is no longer a void. It is a voice that speaks louder than words. The darkness may rage, but you, chosen one, remain unbothered, anchored, grounded, and victorious in your quiet confidence. Chosen one, there are moments when heaven moves so subtly that it feels like nothing is happening. But in the unseen, the shift has already begun. Every time you chose to endure instead of escape, you sent a signal into the spirit realm, a sound that told heaven, I am ready. And at that sound, angels were dispatched. You may not have seen their arrival, but you have certainly felt the evidence of their presence. There is a divine rhythm that governs your life. You are not moving alone. Heaven moves with you. Each step you take in faith is matched by angelic motion. When you release a prayer, heaven responds with a plan. When you release a tear, heaven responds with movement. Nothing about your persistence has gone unnoticed. The shift is real, even if invisible. You've been in a season where everything seemed still, but the stillness was never stagnation, it was synchronization. The heavens were aligning people, places, and timing on your behalf. The Spirit was preparing resources that your eyes have not yet seen. You've been walking by faith through silence, but all the while, heaven was rearranging your story so that when the shift came, everything would fit perfectly. Sometimes divine movement doesn't feel like a miracle, it feels like peace. It comes quietly, like a breeze that carries the scent of rain before the storm breaks. You may not hear thunder, but deep down, you sense that something is changing. You're right. Heaven has already shifted the atmosphere around you. The same doors that were once sealed by fear are beginning to open. There is a holy coordination in motion right now. The prayers you thought were forgotten are still alive, circulating through eternity. The promises that seemed delayed are gathering momentum. Every yes and every no you've received has been part of a divine pattern designed to place you exactly where purpose required you to be. The ancient psalmist once sang in the book of Psalms, chapter 91, verse 11, "He shall give his angels charge over you to keep you in all your ways." Those are not just poetic words, they are the reality that surrounds you. You have been walking under divine supervision. Even when you stumbled, unseen hands steadied you. When danger came close, heaven intervened quietly. When confusion clouded your mind, the Spirit whispered truth through intuition, through sudden clarity, through peace that made no sense at all. Chosen one, heaven's shift is not always external. Sometimes it begins within you. The moment your heart aligned with God's will, the supernatural gears began to turn. That's why some relationships ended abruptly, why certain opportunities closed because your spirit outgrew those spaces. God had to move things around you so He could move you into alignment with destiny. Do not fear transition. Every divine shift feels like disruption before it feels like promotion. When something leaves your life, it makes room for something eternal. What you perceive as loss may actually be relocation. Heaven moving you from comfort to calling. The shaking you felt was not punishment, but positioning. You are now stepping into the phase where divine movement becomes visible. The delays will make sense. The silence will prove necessary. And the blessings that arrive will carry the unmistakable mark of heaven's timing. Chosen one, breathe deeply. You are surrounded by divine order. You are kept, guided, and guarded. Angels stand at your left and your right. The atmosphere around you is shifting in your favor. You don't need to force what God has already arranged. Simply walk forward, the wind of heaven is already behind you. Chosen one. There came a moment when you stopped living by what your eyes could see and began walking by what your spirit could sense. That moment marked the beginning of your transformation. You learned that feelings change like waves, but faith stands like a mountain. What you feel can mislead you, what you believe anchors you. You have discovered that real faith isn't built on emotion, it's built on revelation. There were days when everything in you wanted to give up. Your heart screamed, "It's over." But your spirit whispered, "Not yet." And that whisper was heaven's voice keeping you alive. You realize that trusting God is not about understanding His plan, it's about resting in His character. When your emotions told you to run, faith told you to stand. When fear shouted impossible, your soul remembered who walks beside you. You have learned that feelings are visitors, they come and go. But faith is a resident, it builds its home inside your heart. You used to measure God's presence by how you felt, but now you know He is with you even in silence. You used to doubt your worth when storms came, but now you see that storms come not to punish but to prove what's planted deep within. Chosen one, you are walking on invisible ground, and yet you are still standing. That is not denial, that is dominion. You have stepped beyond emotion into spiritual clarity. You no longer chase comfort, you chase truth. You have learned that joy is not the absence of pain, it is the presence of trust. There's a quiet beauty in this kind of faith. It's not loud or dramatic, it's steady, enduring, unshaken. It's the kind of faith that doesn't need proof because it is the proof. You have become the testimony. The apostle reminds us in his second letter to the Corinthians, chapter 5, verse 7. We walk by faith, not by sight. Those few words are a map for your journey. They remind you that you are not guided by circumstance, but by conviction. Faith is your compass, and trust is your torch. Every step you take in belief pushes back the shadows a little more. You might not see what God is doing, but He is still doing it. Every delay has been divine design. Every unanswered prayer has been preparation for a greater yes. What you feel today will pass, but what you know in your spirit will remain forever. So when doubt whispers again, remember this: you've already walked through darker nights and made it through. When emotions rise like waves, let faith be your anchor. You are learning to dance in the dark because you know dawn always comes. Heaven celebrates that kind of trust. It terrifies hell and delights your Father. Chosen one, if your heart knows this is true, if you can feel that holy balance between emotion and faith within you, make a declaration of agreement right now. Comment: I choose faith. Type it as an act of alignment, a sign that you are done being swayed by feelings. When you write those words, you are proclaiming that faith is your foundation, not fear. You are declaring that no matter what changes around you, you will keep walking by the unseen light that never fails. You have chosen wisely. You have chosen faith, and heaven smiles. Chosen one, heaven has been keeping record not of your failures, but of your faithfulness. Every prayer you whispered in exhaustion, every moment you stood firm while no one saw, every choice to forgive when anger would have been easier. It was all written in the archives of eternity. You may think your obedience was forgotten, but heaven never forgets. There is a book that angels read, not with ink and pages, but with light and memory. In it are the small, sacred moments that changed everything. The night you prayed instead of cursing, the day you gave even when you had little, the moment you said, "I trust you," through tears. Those acts became lines of gold in heaven's record of your endurance. You have to know nothing is wasted. The pain, the persistence, the patience, it all becomes part of a divine equation that heaven uses to multiply glory. You may have walked through seasons that felt silent, but heaven was never still. Your faith has built bridges in unseen realms, and angels have crossed those bridges carrying answers to prayers you forgot you prayed. Chosen one, your endurance has become an altar. The longer you've waited, the more fragrant your worship has become. Heaven doesn't just count your victories, it collects your sighs, your quiet hopes. You're still, I believe. And now the time has come for heaven to remember you publicly. As the apostle wrote in his first letter to the Corinthians, chapter 15, verse 58. Your labor in the Lord is not in vain. Those words are your confirmation. The unseen labor, the private faith, the quiet. Yes, it all mattered. The moments when you wanted to quit but didn't have carved your name into eternity's stone. You are not forgotten. You are recorded. And now, as this message reaches your heart, I want you to imagine something. Imagine a candle in a cathedral, its flame small, but unwavering. Each time someone breathes hope into it, the light grows warmer, brighter, stronger. That's what happens when you like this message. It's as though you're adding your breath to the flame, helping light fill dark corners where faith flickers weakly. When you share it, think of a lantern passed from hand to hand across a vast night. Someone miles away, someone breaking might see your light and find their way back to peace. When you subscribe, you are not joining a list. You are joining a rhythm, a circle of souls who refuse to let hope fade. It's like standing shoulder to shoulder with others carrying torches through the valley. And if your heart feels stirred, if something in you says, I want to give back to the light that gave to me, then let it flow gently. To donate here is not to pay. It is to pour oil into the lamp. It's the kind of oil that keeps the flame alive for others still wandering. It is never demanded, never measured, only received with gratitude. You are not obligated, you are invited. Every small act of giving becomes a raindrop in heaven's river, flowing out to refresh weary hearts you'll never meet. It's how light travels farther through hands that choose generosity over hesitation. Chosen one, this is what partnership with heaven looks like. You breathe hope, share light, and keep the fire burning not out of duty but out of love. When you give, when you share, when you stand with this word, you become part of a sacred echo that reaches souls who have forgotten how to believe. So let it be natural, let it be beautiful. Like if this word rekindled peace in you, share it if you want someone else to feel seen. Subscribe if your spirit wants to stay close to this flow of truth. And if you feel led, donate like one watering a tree whose shade will comfort generations to come. Heaven is watching, smiling, remembering, and your name glows brighter each time faith moves through your hands. Chosen one. There was a moment when the enemy thought the story was over. He looked at your brokenness and celebrated too soon. But what he didn't understand was that your faith had become heaven's hidden strategy. God had allowed the breaking not to destroy you, but to set the stage for his victory. The laughter that now echoes through heaven is the sound of divine reversal when what was meant for harm became holy ground beneath your feet. The enemy doesn't fear talent or power. He fears endurance. He fears those who keep believing after the storm has taken everything. And that is who you are. You stood when everything shook. You trusted when everything fell apart. You looked up from the ruins and still said, God, I know you are good. That sentence was enough to disarm every demon assigned to your downfall. Heaven's laughter is not cruel. It is triumphant. It is the sound of justice being written in invisible ink. Every lie spoken about you, every plot designed against you, every trap you didn't even see, God turned it into testimony. The same mouths that mocked you will one day speak of your strength. The same ground that tried to bury you will now carry the fragrance of your victory. It's written in the book of Psalms, chapter 2, verse 4. He who sits in the heavens shall laugh. The Lord shall hold them in derision. This is not laughter of mockery, it is the laughter of certainty. God laughs because he already knows how your story ends. What terrifies you today has already been overcome in eternity. What the enemy planned for evil has already been redirected for good. Heaven's laughter means that defeat has lost its right to define you. Chosen one, you were never losing, you were being repositioned. Sometimes God lets the enemy believe he's winning, just long enough to reveal his glory in a way no one can deny. The battle was never about your destruction, it was about your revelation. The darkness that tried to silence you ended up amplifying your voice. Can you feel it now? The air around your spirit is lighter because heaven has shifted the atmosphere. The laughter of God breaks the sound barrier of fear. It tells creation, my child still stands. When God laughs, the heavens shake and hell trembles. For it knows the end of the story cannot be rewritten. You see, your resilience has become a mirror reflecting divine power. Every setback became a setup for revelation. Every no became a redirection toward destiny. You are living proof that grace is not fragile, it is fierce. You were not rescued from the fire. You were refined in it. And now, heaven laughs not just over you, but through you. You have become part of that laughter, a living sound of victory in human form. The joy of the Lord is no longer distant, it resonates from within you. Every smile you offer, every act of kindness, every word of faith you speak carries that same vibration of divine triumph. Chosen one. Understand this deeply: when God laughs, creation remembers who is in control. When you echo that laughter in your heart, when you choose peace over panic, trust over trembling, you join in heaven's harmony. The war was won long before you arrived on the battlefield. You're not fighting for victory, you're walking from it. The laughter of God over your faith is the sound that will follow you now. It will fill the empty rooms of your past with light. It will transform every memory of pain into a reminder of purpose. And as you keep walking forward, every step will carry that rhythm of divine joy, the echo of heaven's laughter, marking the path of one who refused to bow. Chosen one, what has been forming in secret is almost ready to be revealed. The crown you are about to wear was not made of gold or silver, but of endurance and purity. Every moment you remained faithful when no one was watching added another jewel to it. The world may never understand the cost of that crown, but heaven does, and that's why your name has been spoken among angels. You were never being punished in the silence, you were being crowned in it. There were days when your prayers seemed unanswered, yet heaven was carefully shaping your reward. God doesn't crown the perfect, He crowns the faithful. He doesn't honor the ones who never fall, but those who fall and rise again, choosing faith over fear every single time. In the hidden places, those quiet hours when you felt unseen, He was polishing your spirit, sanding away fear, pride, and doubt until only reflection remained. That reflection was Him. You have become an image of perseverance, a living echo of divine grace. The waiting room became your throne room, the silence became your sanctuary, and your scars, once painful reminders, are now proof of your refining. There's a beauty that can only be born in secret. Flowers that grow in the dark reach higher when they finally find the sun. You are that flower. Your fragrance will fill rooms that once felt empty. You have been prepared to carry weight others cannot, not because you are stronger, but because you allowed God to strengthen you in solitude. For it is written in the first letter of Peter, chapter 5, verse 4, "When the chief shepherd appears, you will receive the crown of glory that will never fade away." That promise is alive inside you. You are not just waiting for heaven to honor you. Someday you are already walking as royalty here and now. Every act of humility, every moment of obedience, every silent act of kindness was another strand in the golden thread of your destiny. Chosen one, the world celebrates crowns made by human hands, but heaven crowns with light. The brilliance of your spirit now shines through every word, every step, every breath. You don't have to prove who you are. The light you carry already speaks for you. The very atmosphere around you shifts when you enter, because the oil of your endurance cannot be hidden. And now, heaven calls you to acknowledge this moment of alignment. The season of hiding has ended. The unveiling begins. As you read these words, let your heart agree with heaven's timing. Let your spirit whisper, "I am ready." Then, as a sign of your agreement with this divine crowning, comment the number 555 below. That number is more than a symbol, it's a declaration. It represents divine transition, the completion of one cycle and the birth of another. When you write it, you're saying to heaven, I accept my crown. I step out of hiding. I embrace the transformation. Commenting 5155 is your spiritual signature, your way of saying you are no longer afraid of your own anointing. You are ready to carry the responsibility, the influence, and the light that come with your calling. Heaven rejoices at that declaration. Chosen one, lift your head. The crown fits perfectly not because you earned it, but because grace shaped it for you. Walk forward radiant and ready. You are the living proof that what was formed in secret shines brightest in divine timing. Chosen one, you were never meant to walk this path alone. Across the earth, a remnant is awakening souls like yours who have walked through their own fires, carried their own crosses, and emerged with the same holy flame burning behind their eyes. You may have felt isolated, but heaven was never building a single soldier. It was forming an army of light, and now that army is rising. These are the ones who have endured the hidden years, the quiet years, the misunderstood years. They know what it means to be refined in darkness, to be mocked for their faith, to be told they were too intense, too spiritual, too different. Yet they never stopped believing. They carried the weight of intercession in secret, praying for people who would never know their names. These are the chosen remnants, ordinary bodies carrying extraordinary purpose. You are part of them. You feel their same holy ache, the same longing to see heaven touch earth again. It's why you never fully fit into the patterns of this world. You tried, but your spirit resisted the compromise. Something deep inside kept whispering, "There is more." That whisper wasn't restlessness, it was recognition. You were hearing the call of your tribe, the sound of other chosen hearts answering the same divine frequency. There is a unity forming now that transcends language, distance, and denomination. The chosen remnant is being drawn together by the hand of the Spirit, not for fame or performance, but for alignment. Each carries a piece of heaven's design, and only when they gather does the full picture appear. You carry revelation, another carries compassion, another carries healing, and together, you form the living body of divine purpose. The world will not understand this movement because it cannot be explained by human logic. It is not built on systems but on surrender. It is not organized by man but orchestrated by God. It moves like wind, unpredictable yet purposeful, invisible yet undeniable. You will recognize one another not by appearance, but by atmosphere. When two chosen ones meet, their spirits recognize the same flame, and silence becomes sacred, as foretold in the Gospel of Matthew chapter 22, verse 14. Many are called, but few are chosen. You have answered that calling not through perfection, but through perseverance. You have chosen obedience when comfort would have been easier. You have chosen purity in a culture that celebrates compromise. That choice has marked you, and it is drawing others marked the same way into your orbit. This is not coincidence, it is convergence. Chosen one, you are part of heaven's great reassembly, the gathering of those who have been scattered by trials, but not destroyed by them. The time for isolation is closing, and the season of connection is beginning. The ones who once walked in the shadows are now stepping into their divine positions, each carrying their light into darkened places. You will feel it soon, the pull to connect, to collaborate, to create something eternal with others who carry the same fire. The remnant will not compete, they will complete one another. No longer will the faithful walk fragmented, they will move as one body under one spirit. And as you move with them, you'll realize that your private battles were never just about you, they were training for unity. Every wound that healed in you has made you a bridge for others. Every scar is now a doorway for someone else's breakthrough. This is the rising of the chosen remnant, not famous, not flawless, but fearless. A generation anointed not to be known, but to make him known. And you, chosen one, are among them, standing in your rightful place, carrying your light into a world desperate to see again. Chosen one. There comes a point in every divine journey when faith stops being a seed and becomes a fire. Yours has reached that moment. What once flickered uncertainly in your chest now burns with steady, holy intensity. The same circumstances that used to drain you now only feed the flame. It is no longer fragile, it is fierce, refined by trial, unstoppable in its purpose. This fire is not anger, not emotion, it is revelation. It is the spark of understanding that all the waiting, all the breaking, all the silence had meaning. You now see that every closed door was protection, every delay was direction, and every heartbreak was preparation. The fire of faith consumes confusion until only clarity remains. You didn't light this fire yourself, heaven did. It began the moment you stopped asking why and started saying yes. Each time you surrendered your timing, each time you forgave instead of fought, the fire grew. It burned away doubt, pride, and fear, leaving only trust. And now, it glows not just for you, but for those who are still stumbling in the dark. The prophet Jeremiah once felt this same fire and cried out in the ancient scrolls. Chapter 23, verse 29. Is not my word like fire, declares the Lord, and like a hammer that breaks the rock in pieces? That is what your faith has become, a flame that purifies and a force that breaks chains. It doesn't destroy, it refines. It doesn't consume, it illuminates. Wherever you go now, that light will go with you. People may not understand what they sense when they're near you, but they'll feel warmth, peace, conviction. That's not emotion, it's the fire of God's presence resting on your life. Chosen one, you've learned something most never will. Fire reveals what's real. The things that burned away were never meant to last, and the things that remained were worth everything. This flame inside you will continue to grow as you walk in obedience. It will attract both darkness and destiny, but do not fear. The same God who lit the fire will protect it. You are now stepping into a season where faith no longer asks for signs. It becomes the sign. You have walked long enough by unseen promises that now the world will begin to see what you believed. The glow that surrounds your spirit is not imagination. It is manifestation. Heaven's light has found a vessel bold enough to carry it. Your words will begin to carry more weight. Your prayers will cut through heaviness faster. Even your silence will hold authority. Fire transforms everything it touches, and so will you. Wherever you place your feet, change will follow, not because of effort, but because of presence. Do not be surprised when certain people pull away or when old spaces feel too small. Fire doesn't fit in cages. You were made to blaze trails, not to blend into ashes. Let your light burn freely. Let it ignite faith in others. You are not responsible for their response, only for your obedience to shine. This is your turning point, the moment when faith stops whispering and starts roaring. The flames you carry are heaven's testimony that you survived what was sent to silence you. And now, that fire will lead others home. Walk boldly, chosen one. The same word that once comforted you will now come alive through you. You are the flame in the night, the evidence that even in darkness, God still burns bright. Chosen one, the laughter of heaven has not faded, it's growing louder. What began as a whisper of hope within you has become a chorus in the spirit. God laughs in victory because every weapon that once aimed to destroy you has only revealed how unstoppable his plan truly is. You've walked through valleys that others feared. Yet here you stand, shining with the calm of one who has already seen the ending and knows it ends in glory. This is the season where heaven's laughter becomes your own. You can feel it in your bones, that divine sense of release, the recognition that what once broke you now builds you. The storms that once soaked your spirit now water the garden of your calling. The tears that once symbolized pain have turned into streams feeding the roots of your purpose. When God laughs, it is never cruel. It is the sound of finished battle. It's heaven declaring, "What I began, I will complete." You are walking in that laughter now. You're living in the echo of God's triumph, and everything that once felt uncertain now carries meaning. Every wound carries wisdom. Every silence now hums with promise. It's written in the first letter to the Corinthians, chapter 15, verse 57. Thanks be to God, who gives us the victory through our Lord Jesus Christ. Those words aren't just ancient, they're alive. They vibrate through your story. You are the living echo of that victory. When you smile now, heaven smiles through you. When you forgive, heaven breathes through you. When you rise, heaven stands with you. Chosen one. This message isn't just about your victory, it's about the sound of heaven's laughter spreading through every heart that listens. You've felt it, a warmth, a spark, a peace that feels like sunlight after long rain. That feeling is sacred. It's the breath of God brushing your soul, whispering that you've made it, that He's proud of you. And now, I ask you not for action, but for reflection. If this light has found you, let it move naturally through you. When you like this message, think of it as lifting a lantern toward heaven, saying, "I see the light, and I honor it." When you share, imagine you're sending a candle through the night to someone who hasn't yet remembered how to hope. The flame leaves your hands but doesn't leave your heart, it multiplies. When you subscribe, it isn't about joining, it's about abiding. It's like saying, "Keep the lamp burning. I'll return to this fire when the nights grow long." And if your spirit ever feels moved to donate, let it be like placing oil in a lamp. Not out of duty, but devotion. Every drop keeps the flame alive for hearts still waiting for warmth. And if this word touched your soul, comment, "I hear joy," not for applause, but as a sign to heaven that you've joined the laughter, that you believe the story ends in victory. There is beauty in such giving. It transforms receivers into givers, hearers into healers. Every act like share, comment, subscribe, or donate becomes a small spark joining heaven's laughter in the great tapestry of faith. Chosen one, your journey has turned into music. Heaven's laughter plays through your life like a melody that cannot be silenced. Let that sound move through you freely, without fear or force. Let it remind you that even in giving, you are receiving. Even in sharing, you are being multiplied. So breathe, smile, and walk in peace. The laughter of victory now lives in you, and every ripple of your light keeps that holy sound alive across the earth. Chosen one, after every battle there comes a moment when heaven breathes again, a quiet pause, a holy calm. You are standing in that moment now. The warfare has shifted. The season of endless striving has begun to yield to restoration. What was taken, delayed, or denied is beginning to return, not as it was, but multiplied and sanctified by time. The blessing after the battle is never about replacement. It is about redemption. You have walked through nights that tried to steal your song, yet your melody survived. You have faced storms that tried to wash away your hope, but your roots only grew deeper. The pain that once clouded your sight has become the very lens through which you now see clearly. What once broke you has become what defines you, the evidence that grace is greater than grief. Heaven remembers every seed you sowed in tears. every prayer whispered when you had no strength left to stand. Nothing has been forgotten. The blessing unfolding before you is not coincidence. It is divine compensation. God is repaying not just what was lost, but what you endured in faith while waiting. It is written in the book of Joel, chapter 2, verse 25, "I will restore to you the years that the locust has eaten." That promise is the language of restoration. It does not merely return what was stolen, it redeems time itself. The years that felt wasted are now being rewritten with purpose. Every delay becomes divine timing. Every loss becomes sacred exchange. What the enemy thought he destroyed, heaven has already rebuilt behind the veil. Chosen one. The blessing after the battle is rarely loud. It comes softly, like dawn light creeping over the horizon after a long storm. You begin to feel it before you see it, a lightness in your spirit, a calm that no circumstance can shake. This is the reward of endurance. You no longer chase peace, peace follows you. You no longer beg for favor, favor recognizes your name. Do you feel it? The atmosphere around you has changed. The air that once felt heavy with resistance now carries the fragrance of promise. The same hands that held you in the fire now place gifts into your palms. Opportunities will begin to appear without effort. People will begin to honor what they once overlooked. You will find yourself walking through doors you didn't even know existed because they were always meant for this version of you. The refined one. The blessing after the battle doesn't erase the scars. It anoints them. God doesn't hide your past, He redeems it. Your testimony will not be that you escaped the storm, but that you emerged radiant from within it. Your voice will carry healing because it was born out of pain. The glory that now surrounds you has been earned through surrender, not striving. Chosen one, understand these blessings are never random. They come as echoes of obedience. Every yes you gave God in secret now resounds in the open. You have proven trustworthy in drought. Now you will be fruitful in rain. This is not a reward, it's recognition. Heaven is acknowledging what it always knew, that you would still be standing at the end. Let gratitude guide you in this season. Receive quietly, give generously, rest deeply. You are no longer fighting for survival. You are walking in overflow. The blessing after the battle is not just for you, it's flowing through you, touching lives you may never meet. Lift your eyes, chosen one. The war is over, but the story is not. The same God who walked with you through the valley now crowns you on the mountain. This peace you feel is not an ending. It's the beginning of abundance that never runs dry. Chosen one, heaven is watching you now with a quiet smile. The journey that began in trembling has become a symphony of triumph. Every tear you shed has been gathered. Every prayer you whispered has been stored, and every step you took in faith has left a trail of light behind you. You are standing in the very place once reserved only in promise. The circle is complete. Grace has done what effort never could. The Father looks upon you, not with pity but with pride. You have become His living testimony, a reflection of faith that refused to die. You were forged in storms, tested in silence, refined by waiting, and anointed through pain. The crown on your spirit is invisible to the world, but radiant in the eyes of heaven. You are not the same person who began this journey. You carry within you the wisdom of wilderness and the fragrance of fire overcome. Chosen one, you are heaven's living proof that faith never fails. Even when hope seemed out of reach, you held on. Even when your heart broke, you kept loving. Even when you could not trace His hand, you trusted His heart. That trust is what made heaven laugh in victory. God saw your endurance, your surrender, your courage, and He rejoiced. The Apostle Paul wrote in his second letter to Timothy, chapter 4, verse 8, "Henceforth there is laid up for me the crown of righteousness, which the Lord, the righteous judge, shall give me at that day. That day has already begun within you." This crown is not only a reward for the future, it is the identity you now wear. It shines through your peace, your resilience, your quiet strength. You have been crowned not for escaping battles, but for enduring them with grace. Every scar has become a jewel in that crown, every hardship a thread in your robe of victory. Look around, chosen one. The season has shifted. The shadows that once loomed now bow before your light. The same roads that once wounded you now carry your blessing. Where there was confusion, there is clarity. Where there was sorrow, there is serenity. What once felt like breaking was, in truth, becoming. You have been remade by divine design. You are the living embodiment of restoration. Your story has become a message. When others look at you, they will see what perseverance wrapped in faith looks like. You have become the sermon that words can no longer preach, the visible grace of an invisible God. You carry heaven's signature on your spirit, unshakable, unmovable, unstoppable. Chosen one. The heavens rejoice not because you never fell, but because you rose every time. The enemy's final weapon was exhaustion. But even that failed, for your faith refused to rest in fear. You are not simply surviving, you are reigning. The laughter of God over your life continues to echo across eternity. As you walk forward, do so with peace. The season of striving is over, the season of shining has begun. Let humility remain your crown and love your language. Everywhere you go, heaven will recognize its own reflection in you. The journey was long, but it has revealed a timeless truth: faith never returns empty. You believed, and heaven responded. You endured, and heaven rejoiced. You rose, and heaven crowned you. Chosen one, stand tall. The story of your faith is now a monument in heaven's memory. You have become what you were always meant to be: a living flame, a crowned warrior, a vessel of eternal joy. And as the Father looks upon you now, his laughter of victory fills the heavens once more, echoing endlessly through all creation. Beloved chosen one, take a breath. You have reached the quiet after the storm, the holy stillness that follows transformation. Heaven has watched your journey from trembling to triumph, from pain to purpose. You are no longer searching for meaning, you have become it. Now, as this final word settles into your spirit, let your heart move in gratitude. When you like this message, imagine lighting a small candle in a vast cathedral. That single flame joins thousands of others, creating a sea of light that reaches souls who still wander in the dark. When you share, think of it as releasing a dove into the sky. Somewhere it will land in the hands of someone who desperately needs a sign that hope is still alive. When you comment, let it be a quiet "I'm here." It's not just a word, it's a ripple through eternity, a declaration that you heard heaven's laughter and chose to join in. When you subscribe, picture it as standing in a circle of flame bearers, promising, "I will return to this fire." You're not joining a list. You're joining a lineage, those who carry the torch of divine light across generations. And if your heart ever feels moved to donate, see it not as giving something away, but as planting a seed in sacred soil. Your offering becomes a stream that keeps the garden alive, nourishing those who will one day find their way here. No demand, no debt, only the beauty of participation in something eternal. Chosen one, let this be your final act of faith in this chapter. Share the light that found you. What began as a whisper now becomes a wave, your wave, and it will carry heaven's laughter farther than you can imagine.